Alright, so I'm going to do a comparison between the Air King commercial grade high velocity fan and the Lakewood HV-18, which is I guess you could say a vintage high velocity fan. This one I just bought recently, it's brand new, and it is definitely on the higher end, or it's way up on the high end as far as quality is concerned. I compared it to a much cheaper high velocity fan, and this one clearly won. So now I'm going to compare it to a vintage one. This is a Lakewood HV-18 CCB. It's the industrial commercial version, but it is exactly the same as the blue bladed ones. It's got the same motor. It's a 2.4 amp PSC motor made by Macmillan Electric, and the blades are steel. They're very steeply pitched, and this motor of course has oil ports on it. It's a sleeve bearing motor. This fan has a nice long grounded cord, just like this one, which also has a long grounded cord. The difference between the motors is that this is a 1.8 amp PSC motor, and it's ball bearing instead of sleeve bearing. Both of these are rated for commercial use. They both have very nice steel blade sets, and they both move a ton of air. But we'll compare the two and see which one moves more air. Here's a comparison between the different, between the blade pitch on these fans. You can see the one on the Air King is very steep, just like it is on the Lakewood. I think they're pretty much on par with each other as far as that's concerned. As far as build quality is concerned, this Lakewood is very sturdy. This thing could put up with some serious abuse. And so is this Air King. It's very, very sturdy. You can see part of the motor, and then there's that motor. That motor is sealed, has no vents on it. This motor has vents on it to cool it down. And they both have pretty much the same style of cord. The blue bladed versions of these have a flat 3-prong grounded cord. There's that one's cord. Speed switch. There's the information sticker. And both of these were made in the USA, so that's good. Both of these fans have very sturdy stands, so they don't wobble at all. Both have very nice screws. They're not cheap, crappy screws like you'd see on there. That's better. These are much higher quality than what you'd see on a cheap, modern, high-velocity fan, and so are these. This one happens to be missing one right there, but that's okay. It's got all the rest of them. And one advantage that this fan has over the Air King is when you take all these screws off to remove the grill, the back half stays attached to the stand because it's riveted on there. So only the front part comes off. On this Air King, when you take those screws out, the whole entire fan comes off the stand. So it's kind of inconvenient, but I'm willing to look past that. As far as balance is concerned, they're both pretty well balanced. This one I'm really impressed with because I know a lot of these aren't very well balanced at all. This one is pretty smooth running as well. It's just wobbling because it's sitting on top of a cord. But, yeah, it's sitting on a cord. So, I'll start these up in just a second here and hear how they sound, and see how they compare as far as airflow is concerned. This one takes longer to get up to speed. I don't know if it's because the blades are heavier or the motor is just a little bit weaker. I mean, it is only 1.8 amps and this one's 2.4 amps, but they're both steel blade sets. So we'll start off with the Lakewood, I guess. Alright, here we go with high speed. This fan has a nice quiet low speed, and it still moves a lot of air. Very powerful. Alright, so there's the HV-18 CCB. We'll move on to the Air King next. This fan also has a real nice quiet low speed, so they're both pretty much the same as far as that's concerned, which is good. A lot of the cheap modern high velocity fans are very loud on all speeds, and they don't move anywhere near as much air as these two do. So we're going to start this one up now. Start with high. Okay, so both of these fans are pretty much on par with each other. The Lakewood is a little bit more powerful, but this is still an incredibly powerful fan as well. So if you can find one of these on eBay, even though they're often overpriced, I would definitely recommend getting one because these are great. They're very reliable, they're very powerful, and well built. They don't make them anymore, obviously. And if you want to go with a new one, spend about $100. This is what you should get because it is very high quality, especially for a modern product. So that'll do it for the motor comparison, or maybe for the fan comparison. I'll probably do this again with some different ones, but that's that for this video. Thanks for watching.